Hey YouTube, how you doing? It's Max. We're getting down to the wire. I think this is like video like 97 or 98. I think it's 97. But pretty much in this video, I wanted to kind of go over my character Tira Misu in our D&D game that we've been running for a bit of over 5 years, probably 5 years and a couple months or so. Um, Pretty much this is the campaign that my friend Phoenix is running, and this is kind of one of the maps where we are right now. This is one of the main characters that we're kind of the NPCs that we're kind of doing negotiations with Tom Sala. And so currently, over the past 5 years, we've gone through all the different PCs' backstories, and as it relates to our quest, which we are relic hunters, we're trying to hunt down relics. Currently, we have, I think, everyone in the party who was one of the original members who was given the mission to get their relic. We've gotten our relics now. Um, let's see, we can open up like the maps. So we started in this place called Mira, and there's the Northern Kingdom pretty much versus the Southern Kingdom, and they're at one of those like eternal wars. And the Varn are the faction to the north, and the Heloi are the faction to the south. We got there's Dan, who is one of the people in our party, one of the relic hunters. We got his relic first in Varn. Then we went up to the northern parts where the mountains are, and we got Beach, who is another member of the party. We got Beach's relic up in near the mountains. Then we went kind of all the way to Zarathos, which is this kind of neutral area, and we got my character Tira's relic there. Um, we came down into Nose to Neck, which is this area down here, and Margaret, who is another person in the party, we didn't really get her relic there, but we got to see some of her backstory. Also in Zarathos, we got to see some of Beach's backstory. So I think we went to Beach's backstory first. As we were getting these three relics, went to Margaret's backstory, got some of those relics. We had to go to Westfall, which is off the map over here, to get Margaret's relic. So we kind of traversed westward across the nation to get one of those airships so we could go to Westfall. And the Westfall map looks kind of like this. So we kind of landed in Freeport. We had to get Margaret's relic in Kazdaram. So we kind of did like a snake around going up north and then kind of cutting down the middle towards Rionda. Went to the marshlands, went back to Rionda, went to Arkham Soul, went back to Rionda. Then we went to Kazdaram to partake in this tournament. Um, where it was kind of like one of those Coliseum styles where it's like a bracket system. So we had to basically win the tournament against this I guess tournament guy who was running the tournament, who was trying to use the favor of the crowds and the cheers as kind of this analogy towards them worshiping him so he could ascend to godhood, if that makes sense. And during in Westfall, two of the characters, Faram and Dan, are from Westfall, so we kind of went through some of their backstories. We had people join the campaign, people leave the campaign. The newest member of the campaign we kind of met in the Stonepike Mountains when we were kind of at Arkham Soul. Asher, who's a wizard. So we've this campaign's been going on for 5 years, so people coming and going. But after the tournament, we have this kind of house set up in Rionda, and uh, we gathered our supplies. We can now teleport. So coming back to this other map, our home base is now Rionda, and um, over here in Rovara, in the southeast of this map, this is where Tyr is kind of from. So we're kind of teleporting from Westfall way over there to Rionda to try to do this. I guess you could call it. I may have explained this in Tyr's backstory a bit. It's a little bit different in this campaign, but essentially the concept is there are these tieflings who are from this small island called Arla, and there's this Templar organization on Rovara, and the Templar organization is trying to get this uh, another kind of relic from the Tieflings, and the Tieflings want to preserve this relic so that they can use it to fight their oppressors. And one of the big bads of the campaign, Bahamut, which in normal D&D is a lawful good dragon god. In this campaign, he's kind of like uh the he's painted in this way where he's lawful good, but he thinks he's lawful good. He's actually kind of just has this uh sort of like, those kinds of people in like antagonists that's like destroy humanity because humans are kind of toxic, that kind of thing. Where he's lawful good, thinks he's like, probably gonna eliminate humans for the betterment, start over, new fresh start. And that kind of goes against our characters because if he succeeds, then everyone we know and love is going to die. So if either of these sides succeeds and releases this relic, it will release Bahamut, who will destroy the world essentially, eventually. So that's what we're kind of trying to stop as we are kind of exploring Tyr's backstory. So I don't know if that makes sense, but that's kind of just like a brief summary of our campaign so far in about 5 minutes. 5 years of campaign in 5 minutes. So there's a lot being left out, but we also have this map of Nostanek. I mean, this is Rionda, which is the capital of Westfall, where our hideout is. We have kind of a house located in the upper garden, kind of northwood section, so you can see all the kind of details there. We had a map of Nostanek, which is where Margaret's home is. So we've had some maps, we've had some handouts over the time, just some sheets. But really, what I'm going to be exploring is my character's kind of character sheet. And so currently, you can see I have another character of mine that's kind of taking the place. That's because we're in disguise right now, and because in Tira's homeland, she's part like Tiefling, and the Tiefling are pretty much getting rounded up, sort of like Holocaust style. So if Tira was kind of not in a disguise, then that would be some red flags. So she's currently in disguise with some dark eyes and white hair instead of her heterochromia and dark hair. So this is kind of just some notes I have. It's kind of just scribbles and scrabbles, so nothing too crazy. And then these are currently I'm a level 13 cleric with one in bard. So yeah, I have a high armor class because I've got with cleric you get the heavy armor proficiency. So I've got like mithril armor, mithril plate, and mithril shield. So it's 18 armor class plus 2 because it's a plus 2 plate, plus the 2 shield, plus the 2 because it's a plus 2 shield. So that's 24. And then I also have this black carapace helm, which is another plus 1. So when I'm wielding the shield, I have 25 AC. When I'm not wielding the shield, I got 21 AC. This is kind of the stats. So very high in the intelligence, wisdom, charisma. Not so high in strength and dexterity. Some general stats and saving throws. Very high passive perception. It's because I've got this observant feat, which increases pretty much general perception and investigation. Those are a couple things that she's pretty well known for. Um, Also, just like a list of spells that are used a lot. Being a magic spellcaster at like level 14, you get a lot of spells. So just kind of trying to track all that. This is the inventory and items. We do have a couple bags of holding, so just keeping all that. Have a lot of languages because my relic is this um, pretty much this entity known as Cyrus, who is an old general from days imbued into an earring. So he's always whispering uh, information to Tira, and Tira can kind of use Cyrus to kind of buff her allies. That's kind of how I would describe Tira's character, pretty much like this buffing, healing character. At the current moment, used to be very necromancy focused, interested in death. Pretty much the whole resurrection thing. Her mom died, so one of her things was to learn necromancy so she could um, resurrect her sometime in the future. But these are just some general abilities. Most of them are cleric based. You got the Cyrus Hawkeye abilities and the Misty Step from Cyrus. Then we have this orphanage back at our home in Rionda, where our home base is, and the orphanage allows us to recruit. This is kind of like a homebrew rule, but recruit these professors. So we have this professor that taught Tira how to be martial adept, and instead of taking like an actual physical one, we've got these commanding presence and tactical assessment abilities, which allow her to get use the superiority die to either give her a buff to her investigation, her history, her insight, or some sort of charisma roll like intimidation, performance, or persuasion. Um, some of the bio don't really use this stuff as much, but this is just more stuff to track. Some general, height, weight, age. The reason it's +2 is because we went to this Temple of Ioun, which changed her her age, I guess. I guess you would call it like a biological age. So chronologically, in terms of years lived, she's about 16, but because of the temple, it aged her 2 years. So just a little detail there. Um, these are some of the spells. As you can see, there's a lot. The ones that are ticked are the ones that are prepared. The ones that aren't ticked are the ones that aren't prepared. So every day you kind of have to like reassess which spells you're going to need for that day based on the situation you're in. Have a lot of cantrips, mainly because of just things that you've unlocked over the campaign. Um, rules as written, we do a lot of homebrew kind of stuff with like all the relics and stuff. You get extra abilities, and with the orphanage, you get extra abilities. So um, there are some things that probably I might have a little bit more than what you would normally see on a cleric because of those things. Cleric bard, so you can see I have like all the bard stuff kind of tagged, all the life cleric abilities kind of tagged. Um, but yeah, this is pretty much the character sheet that we have currently 5 years and change later. Um, Pretty good campaign. We're playing again tonight, so looking forward to that. But figured before we get to the 100 videos are up, I would just kind of review this kind of sheet a little bit more, just to kind of preserve where it was at this time. But yeah, this is kind of a just a short, fun little video. That's really all I got. Hope you have a good day. I'll see you later. Almost, I think, 2 more videos to go. So, and then we'll move on to the next series. But yeah, have a good rest of your day. I'll see you later.